Right, boys and girls, especially this one for you, Vince. I just want you to know that how I'm putting this jet together, so you'll see that see the way that I'm doing it. Now I've polished this jet up. These jets was new, they came with a carburetor kit. I've got several jets from the old jets and everything. I've got plenty of those. So the jet's been polished nicely. This is the jet holder. Everything's been cleaned up, as you can see. Everything's nice and clean. So first off, the jet adjusting screw, that would normally have a spring on it, but because when you're centering the jet they advise you to take this spring off, so I won't put it on just right now. So first of all, we've got our copper washer inside the jet holder. That's the jet holder, the lock nut. So I've got the copper washer in there, like so, fitted nicely. Then we fit our jet tube, our jet holder fits into there like so. Then ordinarily we would have the spring and the adjuster, the jet adjuster, which fits on the bottom. But I'm not putting the spring on simply because I've got to centre the jet. Well, I'll put it on for now. I can always take it. Well, no, I'll leave it off. Right, so that's like so. Our jet goes up through the bottom like so. First off, we have our seal, our gland. This is a Cork Seal. It's been soaked in oil overnight. These came new with the carburetor kit, the rebuild kit. So that fits in there first. Down at the bottom of there, as you can see, down at the bottom of there, it's beveled. And that's what that seal is sitting into. So that goes on first. Then we've got our little brass washer, and that also is beveled, and that holds on the top of the seal. So that goes, you've got to make sure that's fitted the right way around. That sits like so. Then we have the spring, fits like so, down to the bottom. Then we've got another brass washer, like so. Then we've got our second Cork Seal. Now, as you know, boys and girls, I've got some Teflon seals coming for this, and I'm just showing you this for how I'm doing it, and I'll do it exactly the same with the other one. That's the second Cork Seal, goes on like so. That in turn fits into the top of the jet holder, I'm presuming this is, and you can see that that's also chamfered, and that sits like so on the top of there. That pushes the pressure of the spring, keeps the pressure on the glands, the copper glands inside there. That screws up into, this one screws up into the bottom of your carburetor when it's got this little aluminium holder there, and then there's another Cork Seal sits onto the top of there like so. And there's a little copper washer on the top of the jet like so. That is the whole jet built up. That screws up to there, tightens that jet into the base of the carburetor like so. This is the jet adjusting screw here, so you can wind the jet up to weaken it, open it out to enrich it. But for centering the jet purposes, I haven't put the spring on into here. So that's how I've built the jet up. Now, to me, there shouldn't be any problems with those jets. Turning the adjusting screw will raise the centre of that jet up to the top of the bridge here. This brass piece sits just below the top of the bridge on the carburetor, and then you can adjust that bottom jet adjusting screw and it'll bring the jet up. In fact, I can show you what that does, because I can turn that adjusting screw right up as far as it goes, and that would be the weakest mixture now. And if you look at the top of the jet now, you'll see that it's well above. It's well above. So that's at its maximum. That's screwed in at its maximum. That now would be seated on that part there. It would be flush with that part there. which is the bit having the jet needle, which is here. The jet needle sits in like so. That would be sitting just flush like that when it's all adjusted correctly. So I'm quite sure that I haven't done anything wrong there. The jets obviously goes in. I'll just show you that bit. The jet seats into the bottom of the piston. It maybe just wants a little bit of, just undo that a little bit. The jet sits into the bottom of the piston, so the shoulder of the jet, which is just here, you can see the shoulder up against my finger there, the shoulder's there. That shoulder fits up to the bottom of the piston like so. So that's flush with the bottom. It's not in there, it's not sticking out, it's flush in there, and that would be tightened in like so. Now I've used both. I've used these new jets that came with my rebuild kit, and I've also tried it with the two older jets that were in the carburetors. Now I say older because the fact that some of these gaskets and things look like those brand new, I'm presuming that somebody's rebuilt these carbs recently. But I've tried it with both jets just in case there was a problem that I've missed with the jet. So when it's all back into the vehicle, onto the carburetor, that sits into there like so. That is pressed down like so because it's into the carburetor. So the top of the jet, you would adjust this with the adjusting screw underneath until you've got a setting that either riches or weakens the mixture down. Now as soon as when it's set like so in the carburetor, as soon as I pull the choke on the carb, which lowers the jet like that, fuel's just gushing out of the top. It's just running out. And that's the problem I've got. It's as soon as that jet is set like this in the carb, as soon as I open the choke, which in theory is just like lowering the jet inside this tube here, as soon as I lower it down in there, the fuel is coming out. While it's like that, it might just drip a little bit. So is it a problem with the jet, the seals, or is it a problem with the float? Now regarding the float, I'll put that away for now. Regarding the float, I've just been soaking I've soaked them for a couple of minutes just to soften them up. These are the float chamber gaskets, just in case the new ones that I've put on it are not suitable anymore. But yeah, I've got them. So now I'm going. The other thing was I've polished all these jets up. That's another jet and a new needle. I got these from Healy Spares. All my jets, that's one of the older jets. You can see these jets have not been in there very long. None of them are showing signs of wear. That is one of the new ones. That is one that came with the vehicle. You can see the copper's just slightly discoloured, but the jets themselves. And I've swapped all the jets, and it doesn't make any difference. The fuel is still gushing out. So I'm quite sure that I've assembled the jets correctly. If anybody thinks otherwise, can they just comment on that? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to dismantle the float bowls, and I'm going to bring the floats in and check the floats, because there's been a mention that perhaps the floats are not seating correctly. So I'll do that next. So thanks very much for watching this first video.